You get to hang out with all the meanest scumbag bullies there are. Those that would rather rule in hell than serve in heaven. And baby, I'll serve in heaven all day long. And I'll have fun doing it. Any day. Whatever he says, brother, I'll do it. I'll use my God-given talents to give, and be appreciated and loved and just be even blissed out, man, 24/7, forevermore. And it gets better and better and better. Better and better and better for all eternity. I hope people can forgive me for some of the tirades I go on. And I ask that they please try and understand why I am so passionate. Quite simply, I've been sick and tired of being forced to witness steady anti-progress as a nation and by extension a civilization. And frankly, it perturbs the crap out of me, and I'm utterly compelled to speak out against anti-progress in the form of the normalization of slavery. This is the theft of labor through subterfuge, by being sneaky and cunning, that is. And lots of time. They did this gradually, like the analogy of the frogs in the pot of water. I'm really not a bad man to oppose outright, ongoing, the economic rape of decent people. Rape is a violent way of stealing what belongs to another, right? So I think it's very apropos to compare what's going on with rape. It's economic rape of the people that don't deserve it. It's wrong. It's immoral. It's ungodly. It's unethical. It's un-American. It's inhuman. They're dehumanizing others. You think that's not going to come back on you? Humanize people, for God's sake. Go meet some of the homeless. Show them you care. Tell them you love them. Give them a few bucks if you can as part of your tithing process. Look, maybe you will be the straw that breaks the camel's back in a good way. And that means that maybe you're the one that's, okay, God, please, I love these people. What can I do? I want to serve. I tell them, I say, go out and do something. Just go give your time away, your efforts, your talents. Just do it. Feel useful. Feel appreciated. Don't miss this little window of opportunity you have to be appreciated. Go out and be useful somehow. Ask God for help to guide you. And then I tell them, go talk to the cops. Go ask them, please, I'm desperate. I need help. Can you help me in any way? So you get on that path to getting out of homelessness, man. It's killing me. Every time I go to sleep in a warm, dry bed, it's killing me. I'm riddled with guilt and shame. And I take it before the Lord. God, it's killing me. I'll give you anything I'd give to end homelessness in America. Let's start here, because it's killing me through osmosis. I can't get away from it. I can't divorce myself from it. I can't separate myself from it. This is what you want, God, and I want it too. You want me to have compunction, profound compunction about these issues? Good, I want it. I welcome that shame, that guilt, that compunction. And you should too. We all should be ashamed to go to sleep in a warm, dry bed and say it's okay for our fellow brothers and sisters, American citizens, to suffer needlessly out in the cold, sometimes dying like animals. But if they were criminals, safely ensconced behind bars with 3 hots and a cot, free medical, free rent, free utilities, help reintegrating into society later at a cost of $100,000 a year to the taxpayers. But if you're not a criminal, if you're just a passive little homeless person, no soup for you. Go die, you bum, lazy freak on drugs. What's wrong with you? You stink. And we call ourselves a Christian nation. Christ said, whatsoever you do or fail to do for the least of men, you do or fail to do for me. For shame, we call ourselves a Christian nation. For shame. For shame. God help us. God help us. I'm talking to powerful people, man. I want to influence the influencers. That's who I am. That's what I'm about. So if I've got a meager audience, fine. Just so a little bird can get it to the influencers. I'm done, man. God is done. I'm feeling it. He's ready to put his foot down at any moment. I mean, bring the hammer down as unprecedented and ever before in human history, man. Sea changes are at the brink. They're at the door. We're at the precipice, man. He's going to lose it. I'm telling you, he's trying to get our attention. This coronavirus killing people right and left. He's trying. He's having a hard time, though, and he's just got to turn up the heat, man. It's going to get hot in the kitchen, but I'm telling you, just like leaven through the dough, he's going to mix the Holy Spirit of truth in through the population. If you resist, good luck. I don't mean it. If you resist, you're foolish. I mean, it's just a foolish thing to do, to resist the will of God being established upon the earth. That's what's coming. That's the world of tomorrow. And if you hope to be there, you got to get right with him, not with me. My opinion doesn't matter. Right with him. So I'm talking to people in positions of power. The power, we're spending $50 billion a year on Section 8 housing to subsidize housing costs for poor people. And we won't siphon off a little of that and just build permanent housing. Problem solved. So much cheaper in the long run. Oh, for God's sake. For that $100,000 a year they're spending on criminals, they could be spending that money on buying housing and prevent the crime, prevent people from getting desperate. Oh my God, what is wrong with us? Oh my God. God help us. And I'm telling you, you ought to have the same attitude as me. I'm telling you, it's the right attitude to have, my friends. God help us all, because we're in trouble. These are mean people. They'll stop it. They want to commit genocide on an unspeakable level. Georgia Guidestones, look it up. Last week I showed a sample of my lists. I got the front list is always the priority stuff that's got to be taken care of soon. But the nice part about keeping lists, and I was so pleased to see I had a daughter that she laughed about it because she's got several lists too. Stuff gets backed up, but there's regular stuff, intervals, you got to change the oil in your car, whatever that might be, that you've got to do occasionally, but on a regular basis, somewhat regular. Maybe it's once a year or something. Pay your taxes, I don't know. Whatever reminded you, but you got a list there and you get it out of your head so it's not just, jumbling up your thinking, and it's on paper. So at your convenience, at your leisure, when you feel like it, you can look at your list. But it helps me psychologically. If I improve something in throughout a day, whatever it is, maybe just cleaning something, organizing something, doing something to make my life a little nicer, a little sweeter, a little better, it helps me psychologically, help you too. You understand? It just feels good, If nobody needs me to serve them because everything is about money, even though I might want to serve free, like go out and fill potholes, but I can't afford just to do a tenth of a mile and $1,000 in pothole. I'm supposed to absorb that cost. I can't do that. You understand? So money screws up everything. It's a big fat fly in the ointment. The money lover, the turds in the punch bowl, my friends. We got to get away from this so we can serve of our own free will and accord. But at least you can serve yourself and do something. I've got no reason for me to ever be bored. Never dull. I got all sorts of stuff to do, and you ought to too. Money in all its sundry incarnations bores the daylights out of me. It really does. And Max and Stacy on Bitcoin, it just so boring. But they've got to be honest and say, well, don't expect the returns. Now that the fat cats got in there, you're never going to get the returns like they've been getting in the past. No way, man. Not even close. And if they were ever a viable threat to the Fed, and the Fed would shut them down. They'd shut the internet down if they had to, whatever was necessary. And to this day, still, Max, the greatest salesman in the world maybe, but only 1.3% of the Earth's population owns any Bitcoin. Well, in the 2 minutes I have left, friends, I'm going to go on to some thoughts from the last week or so. Query, is selfishness immoral, unnatural, ungodly, or abnormal? No, quite the contrary is true. Typically, we are all perfectionists. We want things exactly as we want them, period. Though we must understand and respect the fact that everyone else has an inclination and a right to seek the same things we want. But know your inextricable entanglement in the welfare of your fellow human beings. Parents have been endowed intuitively and instinctually to understand their children's need for rules, and they need the sternness necessary to see that those rules are followed. And God is no different than all of our parents. Very often in our economically perverted society, the very most aggressive, assertive, and determined types are these, quote, successful ones. Let's be very clear. In no way does this render them the smartest or the most deserving of success. We all have a God-given instinct to value and appreciate love through various manifestations. Consider your countenance before you came upon a litter of kittens or puppies, and then consider your countenance during your encounter with these adorable little critters. Love softens our appearance, inside and out. Being intelligent doesn't necessarily equate to being educated, and being educated doesn't necessarily equate to being intelligent. At the end of the day, we must choose to be who we are, and that is whoever we choose to be one day at a time.